Just on the issue of water in this country, I live on this river system. This is an area that is very important to the Murray-Darling Basin. It's called the Lower Ballon catchment area, and it comes down from Roma, Queensland, St George, Queensland. And along this river system here, we probably have, well, we do have the biggest cotton farm in the world. And that's, Cubby Station, which sits not too far at the back of my place here. And then there's another one, which is probably one of the second largest water users and biggest producer and user of water, second to Cubby. It's a place called Ballandul, which is my border. We jut onto each other. That's the Queensland border. On the other side is Queensland. This side is Moglar. On that side over there is Ballandul Station. It's a very big 50,000 acre farm that uses probably 3/4. Well, let me put it this way: Cubby Station has the highest, and so by 1/4 of the amount Cubby has storage, Ballandul has almost the same amount of water. Now, Ballandul are much more clever though, in that they're not cotton intensive. They diversify into others and into other cereal grains that are not so dependent on water, and so they don't have to use that much water. However, the problem that I see with them is these massive big storages. When you have a 30% evaporation rate, it's quite considerable amount of water being lost to the sun. But that's, on the one hand, that may be good for others over on the eastern areas, because then you get all the rainfall from this evaporation, and then you have the all of that rain sort of dropping in other locations. So that may be good in one sense. So the deficit here may be an advantage, a positive advantage for other areas. But we need to look at stabilising, the river system, and the only way we can do that is look at developing a sustainable, extraction rates for all industries across the Murray-Darling Basin. And until we sit down and negotiate as a collective group of all interest and all parties, then I don't think we're going to reach any amicable solutions. And I think there'll be a lot of blame game, and I don't think the politicians should take advantage of this and use it as a political football. We have a lot to work out, and sustainable water throughout the country, throughout the Murray-Darling Basin, can be achieved, but we need to talk about it. I don't think we should be in a situation where we say, oh well, all the underground water and all the aquifers underneath, should be reserved for washing minerals and ores, as opposed to the water here that's flowing on the land should be for irrigation or everything else. I think we need to manage the two and not give priority to one or the other. And I think, if mining is so water intensive, well then let's discuss it, because there's not many people in this country who understand that, mining minerals in this country needs so much water to be used. And when people begin to understand that, I think that they might have a better ability to be able to, make some informed, decisions on how best to deal with water. We need to take a closer observation and a study of how much water is actually being used by mining companies. You go over here to Ulan in New South Wales on the Goulburn River, across here in the Hunter Valley. I'm actually, really shocked at the fact that when you go there, you see these, big sprinklers, sort of with all this water just running out of the ground, and they've got this big sprinkler system, and it's on 24/7, and it's been going now for the last 20 years, all this water, because they have to keep the water out from running into their mines over there. So what happens to that water? Why aren't they just, draining that water into some big dam where it can be used? Because it's, when I look there, it's obviously not brackish water, because there's plenty of plants growing there where they're irrigating this thing, and because it's a sprinkle system, the sun evaporates a lot of it, and so it's not showing up as being a lot of water, but there's a lot of water being pumped. It's really something to look at, this massive permanent irrigation system over there on one of those mines, coal mine. Shocking.